Hi everyone, this is Greg. Happy to be back again. This time I'm gonna try once again to do not half necessarily, but English first, okay, but also put quite some infos in French as well for the French audience. I don't have the time, I apologize, to work on subtitles, which would have been better, I know. And it takes an awful lot of time as well. I'm a bit late in the weekend in my schedule, so I'm gonna try to do this the way I feel it, simply. Voilà, donc c'est une vidéo français et anglais, en français et en anglais. Je vais essayer de résumer les choses autant que possible. Maybe I will start with the French because this is a whiskey review, but also quickly a comic book bande dessinée review as well. This is also a video I wanted to do after an evening where I was invited in Paris for the presentation of a comic book. Donc le 30 septembre, late September, I was invited to this presentation of the new comic book reference with some insight from a Belgian distiller in it, and also a tasting. But as the whiskey we were offered, not by the distiller, but the drawer of the comic book, it's his own private collection. This was something which was a private cask, so this is not something you will be able to relate to and to try anytime. That's why I waited a bit and I had some delivering issues, but finally I got to receive a core range expression from this Belgian distillery, so that this way I will be able to make you be more related to it, right? And if you're interested, then after you decide if you have to search for the whiskey you can't find, contrary to this one. And we'll speak also about this one because it has a link with these. Right. Du coup, je suis perdu français-anglais. I'm gonna start with French. Donc, à cette soirée, organisé par Bamboo Édition, voilà, où il y a pas mal de choses. Il y a des thèmes, il y a des interviews. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a d'autre? Bon, tout un tas de choses. Présentation de nouvelles bandes dessinées aussi. Donc, c'est vraiment un magazine consacré, donc humour, aventure, émotion, histoire, fantasy, manga. Voilà, donc allez voir leur site Bamboo Édition. Ça s'apparente à de la pub peut-être, donc je vais mettre quand même un bandeau commercial. Les auteurs de cette bande dessinée que je vais vous présenter: Christophe Cazenove, Hervé Richez pour le scénario, et Olivier Saive, que j'ai rencontré, qui était là. Etienne Bouillon n'a pas pu venir malheureusement, le distillateur. Paru sur 29 septembre 2021. Et donc oui, le dessinateur Olivier Saive est passionné de whisky. Il y a presque 8 ans, curieux de percer le mystère du whisky, poussé par son ami distillateur Etienne Bouillon, qui fait le Belgian Owl. Auteur du cahier pédagogique de l'album, il s'est porté acquéreur d'un tiers de fût du célèbre single malt belge, le Belgian Owl. Qu'est-ce que je peux vous dire d'autre? Voilà, et donc, alors ça je vais vous le présenter. I will present this to you later on, but basically the guy who did the drawings for the comic book I'm going to show you did also work with the distiller, and he asked him for something special, and they did this, which is a bit unusual, very limited edition private cask, so not really an edition, if I may say, and this is not unfortunately for sale, so this is just what I have, and I tried it 3 times before breaking before opening it, uncorking it during a live show earlier on my channel, and also I did present it already, the whiskey and the comic book, in channel news earlier on, but at that time I didn't have this, or I didn't have tried it. Anyway, donc retour à la bande dessinée. I will speak a bit more in French about the comic book because it's written in French. I'm sorry guys. Donc très vite, donc voilà comment ça se présente. Donc c'est une bande dessinée à, on va dire, but pédagogique un peu, mais avec de l'humour, avec... alors qu'est-ce que je peux prendre comme page où on parle de whisky? Voilà, donc c'est une famille avec leurs amis qui visitent une distillery, qui font des dégustations, et c'est le prétexte à expliquer comment ça se passe au niveau du processus de whisky. Alors effectivement, on a quelques bouteilles que vous allez reconnaître dessinées, voilà, c'est amusant, des Islay. Et à la fin, donc vous avez un cahier, une dizaine de pages rédigé par le Etienne Bouillon avec les dessins d'Olivier Saive. Et donc il y a de très jolies choses, dont des procédés de la Stratailla, évidemment, c'est vraiment la plus belle peut-être de l'extérieur distillerie écossaise. Et vous avez les procédés de fabrication de l'autre côté. Ça, je vous recommande ça vraiment pour les gens qui débutent dans le whisky. For the beginners, it's a great, in French, but it's a great way to discover whiskey with fun. Also, you have some pictures there, the process, and I will also show you something special about this distillery, which is once again a Belgian distillery. This Belgian distillery, just a quick tout petit peu d'historique. This is called the Owl Distillery. Let me show you what they do as a core, one of the, I think, 5 expressions, yeah, of the core range. So this, the product is called Belgian Owl, but the distillery is the Owl Distillery in Belgium. It was founded in 1997, but it was in production really in 2004. The first cask, I mean, was released in 2004. Before 2004, they did produce whiskey that was called Lambicool or Pure. I don't know much about this. Maybe some of our friends I will name later on will help about that. And then 2007 was the year of the first single malt was produced. And that year they released a 46% ABV and a Cask Strength. Most often 3 years old, but now they produce older whiskies. In 2005 the production becomes constant with 20,000 liters per year. Voilà, donc c'est une distillerie qui a commercialisé en 2004 sous le nom de Belgian Owl son premier fût. 2007, oui, c'est la première apparition sur un festival de whisky. Et il faut attendre 2008 pour que ce soit commercialisé dans des caves en Belgique, et 2011 et ensuite ailleurs. So 2007, first operation of this single malt in the Spirit in the Sky, which I know a bit, festival, which was that time in holding in the Liège airport. In 2008, they were first sold, like I said, in the Belgian retailers, and what was that? Sorry, I forgot something. Yeah, in 2011, everybody thinks what he wants about this guy. Sometimes I think he has some good points about some whiskies. Other times it's completely, for me, nonsense. So of course I'm talking about Jim Murray. But in 2011, he named a single cask from Belgian Owl European single cask of the year. Just saying. 2013, and we're going to come into that, is they were having other stills before, so smaller stills and more typically European, but in 2013 they managed to get them 2 stills from the CAPERDONICH Scottish Speyside distillery, and I will show you something about that. 2016 is the year where the first new make, the first whiskies, in fact, not new make, logically, excuse me a second, yeah, sorry. So 2016, the first whiskies were released using the Caperdonic stills. So this one, as this is 2021, so 3 years before or so, but not that much, I think, because they sell quick, are made with Caperdonic, ex-Caperdonic stills. So 2007 is the year they can align 5 expressions. This one is called Identity. There's others. One I recommend you to go, or rather on the distillery's website, the Old Distillery, or you just type Belgian Owl. Gonna not dig too much into the range, the core range or the limited releases, because I tried some quite a while, and some of those I tried are not available now. So I thought was not mainly interesting to give you too much notes about very old batches, let's say. So that's why I bought this, and I was about to buy a single cask as well, but I had to do some choices to dig into different European whiskies. So I finally delayed this later on, but I will, of course, I'll be happy to get other whiskies from this distillery, because I believe it's one of the best in Europe. About production, everything like this is non-chill filtered, non-colored. Every whiskey uses first fill bourbon cask, so just using casks that were holding bourbons, American oak, and bourbons in American oak before holding the whiskey. So for the first time. Donc cette distillerie travaille de manière très pure, très naturelle. D'abord, c'est une distillerie artisanale, il faut le dire, et with local barley, I forgot to say, orge local from the farm nearby, de la ferme à côté. Ce whisky de la gamme régulière est un 3 ans d'âge. Il utilise toujours des fûts de premier remplissage, c'est-à-dire des fûts, ce qu'on appelle des fûts de premier remplissage, et en matière notamment de fûts qui proviennent des États-Unis. En général, ça signifie que ce sont des fûts qui ont d'abord contenu du bourbon et ensuite été vidés, ils ont été rincés, ensuite ils ont été expédiés, démontés la plupart du temps, ou pas, démontés aujourd'hui forcément, et ils ont été remontés après transport dans la distillerie, et ils ont été remplis pour la première fois de whisky de la distillerie Belgian Owl, et pendant 3 ans. Voilà. Il n'y a pas de filtration à froid, pas de coloration, c'est tout à fait naturel. Donc au niveau technique très rapide, elle a une cuve de brassage, la distillerie, une cuve de brassage Mashtun is la cuve de brassage of 2.1 tonnes, 2 tonnes 1. Elle a 4 washbacks, 4 washbacks. It means in French 4 cuves de brassage, non, de fermentation. Oui, Mashtun, brassage, washback, fermentation, qui dure 72 heures. The fermentation is long and lasts 72 hours. So they have 2 stills. I'm going to show you now the stills from the Caperdonic distillery. Just a few words, then it's in the can see the, I think it's the wash still here. And on the website you can see the wash and then the spirit still. And here's Etienne Bouillon, the distiller and founder of the old distillery. Yup, voila. Here I have, by the way, and I'm gonna try it with you, and it's a signed bottle by Doug McIver, so it's another story, but it's a 23 years old Caperdonich, indie bottling for Barry Brosson Rudd for French market. 23 years old, 51.9 bottle 2005, cask 121, 111. 1992, because in fact, quickly, this is a distillery which was founded in 1897. It's a Chivas Brothers distillery, so belonging to Pernod Ricard. But now it's demolished after having been sold in 2010. It stopped a long time its production before resuming it in 1965, my birth year. Yeah, it's my birthday this month, so coincidence. And this one was created, let me change. This distillery was founded by the owner of the Chivas were owning at that time, Glen Grant, and this is the nickname of Caperdonich is Glen Grant 2, because I wanted to have more whiskey, also not only as a filler, but maybe do some different things. It's a Speyside distillery. What can I say else quickly? And we're gonna try it. Well, basically, yeah. So 2013, the Caperdonich stills were bought by the old distillery, and now everything you can try from the old distillery has some aura from, in a way, from this distillery. Though of course production methods are different, but it's just an imprint, and I wanted to. Well, let's start by this, by the way. Before it gets too long, on va commencer par déguster cette distillerie. C'est un whisky de cette distillerie. C'est une version de négoce. C'est une version de négoce pour la France, la maison du whisky, et donc c'est un fût unique de cette distillerie qui est fermée maintenant et démantelée. Donc c'est du stock. It's an old stock. The brokers or big retailers, importers, distributors, and the bottlers have. So in that case, Barry Brosson Rudd. Et donc c'est fût embouteillé en 2015, fût 121-111 à 51,9, et on va le déguster, il n'y a pas de raison. Bien sûr, c'est juste symbolique, ça ne veut pas dire ce qu'il y a là-dedans, vous allez le retrouver dans le Belgian Owl. Doesn't mean what you're gonna what I'm gonna get from this will reflect any taste in Belgian Owl, but symbolically, I think whiskey lovers will appreciate the fact that this distillery has a second life in a way through Belgian Owl, and also the fact that, in my opinion, Belgian Owl does one of the cleanest, purest new make in Europe. It's my opinion. Donc, and necessarily it probably pays homage to the best, to those stills. Just my opinion. Encore une fois, c'est mon avis. Pour moi, cette distillerie belge a vraiment un travail très très propre, très pur, en plus d'avoir des eaux particulièrement pures. Et vraiment, c'est quasiment, on peut parler de terroir aussi là. We can speak of terroir because they use also homegrown barley. It's a farm distillery, and also amazingly, it has the same process to get his water than the distillery I'm currently working with. C'est marrant cette coïncidence, 38 mètres, 40 mètres. Donc utilise l'eau de la nappe phréatique. Il y a un puits à 40 mètres de profondeur qui utilise l'eau de la nappe phréatique. Et donc ça donne une eau très pure. So I meant that this is the water is sourced from a well under 38 meters that gets the what's going on there, the computer alert. Okay, I will do this update later on. Excuse me. So yeah, it's a very pure water, and we're gonna try it. I have my old notes here, as usual. Okay. So there you have it, something very clean, very pure, despite the age. The casks, they're not, are they disclosed in this one? This one, of course, also no caramel coloring, no chill filtering. It doesn't seem to disclose the cask. Yeah, Caperdonich, interesting story thing here. Caperdonich was sometimes called Glen Grant No. 2 distillery and closed shortly, having been built in 1902. It remained silent for 65 years because before being refitted in the 60s, sadly the reprieve was not to last and the buildings were demolished quite recently. And then we have tasting notes, and it says the nose gives some apple, sugared pastry with hints of coconut, dried banana, honey on cereal. Palates add some dusty hay barn impressions with overall fruitiness and a faint hint of pittiness at the death. Not sure I got all these, and this is gonna be rather quick. Oh yeah. Yeah, fruity, floral. I have the hay and the honey. I got some botanicals here and discrete flowers. I note also some almonds on the barley and barley sugar, but let's see. Slangeva. Yeah, it's getting quite dry. I haven't tried it for some time, but as you can see, the fill level, I did dig into. There's some of my rare bottles I don't really drink myself often. Taking the excuse to receive guests to open this, and for instance, once we're at it, I have to give a big thank you for this, which I purchased with the help of a good friend, Menno Multimission. Go check out multimission.com website. Great work, great insight and whiskey analysis. And I would like someday to have Menno home and to try this with me. So we'll have, I'm sure he had other Caperdonics, but could be interesting for him to try this. So Menno, it's for you. Cheers. Lovely, unique, very special profile. It has something in common with Glen Grant's, I have to say. This very fresh almondy vanilla, very nice, seductive, a bit floral profile, but it digs a bit deeper. Of what I know of Glen Grant, I have 2 Glen Grants home at the moment. I haven't never reviewed them, by the way. I probably should. So many things. Beautiful whiskey. A few drops. Got this complexity and a really great balance. I have the banana now, that's right. But it's not overpowering. It's not like first fill bourbon. It's not that. Very nice. Barley sugar, some herbs, some grass, fresh grass, green grass, also some hay, some citrus fruit. What else? It's better than the first time, the 2 first times I tried. I might retry it later on quietly, to taking my time to give score. Temporary score was 87, but I think I'm going to put it higher now. There you have it, Belgian origins in a way, or not. So yeah, I thought it was interesting to add this to the review as maybe a bonus insight, call it how you want. But now let's go to this, and this is presented in a nice cardboard box with the famous owl, and it survived some difficulties in the parcel that the postman did damage a bit the parcel, but thanks the bottle arrives safe, and even some gift for my birthday in advance. Thank you, Menno, again for beautiful Belgian beers. I love Belgian beers. One broke in the parcel, but the others, five others were, or four others, don't remember now. I still have one to try, but so far they're great. So thanks again, Menno. Let me put that here maybe so you can see this at the same time. And where does it say quality award, Monde Sélection Brussels, Grand Gold quality award? So I don't know this contest, but it's always good to have some praise awards. So that's it for the Caperdonich. We can move now to the this is a single cask. The other this is not a single cask, this is a small batch. Single cask is so yeah, it says handcrafted raised whiskey made in Belgium. It was around 48 euros to give you an idea. It's a 50 cl bottle, mind you. They always come in 50 cl, if I'm not mistaken, centiliters. And the subtitle is expression of the, it's hard to pronounce, sorry Menno, Hesbaye or Hesbaye terroir. Hesbaye is the name of the locality where the farm is and the distillery is. I haven't really checked, I apologize, where exactly in Belgium it's located. I would love to visit someday. 46% ABV, I said that, 36 months. Yeah, curiously they speak about months instead of years, but why not? Quite transparent. On the other side there's the address, so it's Fex le Haut Clocher 4347, so you can see the address here, and you have the if you want to know more, you have the address of the website as well. You have a batch number there, and as you can see, sustainable, pot still, coloring free, non-chill filtered, non-pitted, handcrafted. Donc pour les Français, c'est représentatif du terroir de cet endroit qui s'appelle Hesbaye ou Hesbaye. Sustainable, ils veulent dire que c'est une production pour la gamme régulière, donc normalement il n'y aura pas de rupture de stock. Pot still, c'est un alambic charentais à repasse, donc comme je vous ai montré. Le même procédé, même si la forme n'est pas la même que pour le cognac et l'armagnac, sauf que l'armagnac est distillé une fois, le cognac deux. Like I said, pot still is used also for armagnac and for cognac, though the shape of the still is often very different and called Charentais. Charente is the region, but the armagnac is distilled only once, while the cognac twice, and they're distilled after wine, not grain. Donc encore une autre différence. N'empêche que, voilà, pot still, ça veut dire que ce n'est pas l'alambic à colonne pour faire les whiskies de grain, donc c'est plus puissant et plus aromatique. Voilà. So genuine whiskey and genuine Belgian whiskey. Voilà, voilà. I like the fact that the cork is, there's all on it. It's what I call silicon plastic cork, but it's treated for food. So no, for me it's the best way with the screw cap, believe me or not, to have some stability in your whiskey and no cork broke like I have all years, every year here. But it's if I have money more, I will move it. Now, if you want to see what it looks like in the glass, so it's quite transparent. It's a hay color. It's light. It's like a muscadet white wine, maybe, with less yellow reflections. The legs are descending slowly, but they stay a while. It's amazing. I wish you could see that. They're sticking quite some time before going down, as you can see, maybe. So what does that mean? Despite the 3 years old, for instance, they go less slowly than the Orchid House, which is interesting. That means there's a lot of fat in there. Both are non-chill filtered, by the way, but there's a lot of fat, there's a lot of substance, and there's no obstacle between the whiskey and the consumer regarding the most possible complete experience he can have. I hope it makes sense. Wow, I had tried this expression earlier on. That's why I dare to review it at neck pour, or almost. I mean other batches, and what I love in this distillery, and I wish it could be more available in France. It was sold out in France. That's why I was had to go to with the help of a friend in Belgium. It has a remarkable, since I tried this 10 years ago or so, or less maybe, it has a remarkable consistency and control quality of the production. So this is one of the most, I should have bought the single cask in the road. It probably was awesome as well, but I had to make some choices. So our first fill shows a lot, of course. So again, bonbon anglais, English licorice, all sorts, exotic fruit, pineapple, pear, and all the jazz. Donc ananas, poire fraîche, hein. C'est super frais, c'est même pas une poire mûre, c'est vraiment j'ai plus la variété en tête auquel j'ai pensé, je sais plus si c'est la comice ou it's a very fresh nose. There's vanilla on the background, as always a first fill bourbon. Allez, on va au palais, the palate. Relativement long en bouche, une attaque très douce sur l'orge maltais, ensuite une progression avec un peu plus d'épices, petit poivre blanc, gingembre, first in French, sorry, et ce côté herbacé qui progresse et donne la charpente, la structure. Une belle note florale aussi mixte, vraiment des champs, des plantes sauvages, des champs je veux dire. So in English, very clean spirit once again. There's first some sweet barley with a little barley sugar, very natural, coming across very natural. Then there's a rising of some sweet spices, some ginger, maybe white pepper. And some herbal notes, grass, not really, but hay and wild herbs from the fields. Quite harmonious. The vanilla is really discreet now, more than on the nose. It's not overly complex. It's not overly exuberant. It's a quiet malt, But for 3 years old, it's really efficient. I know they have expression 11, 12 years old. They have older single casks. And also one thing is the cut is quite high, and that's why you can have, such as in the other whiskey we're going to try, some very high level of ABV. I tried one for instance, in a show which was bottled at 77% ABV. Yes, it was not. I'm not sure it was a single malt. I thought it was 1 or 2 years old. I'm not sure, but it was quite high. So some almondy elements, crushed almond, maybe a hint, I gotta write this down, maybe a hint of anise, always, not star anise, just some hint of anise, fennel maybe, and getting dry right at the end. It's a bit spicy and dry, but overall great stuff. Voilà, un petit peu d'eau, a few drops of water. Ah, évidemment. As often, if you add a few drops, you're gonna get more spices in American oak bourbon casks driven whiskey. So we got more spices, more herbal, spicy herbs. Peut-être même, I forgot the name, even in French. It's a botanical that sometimes went into spirits. Damned, I forgot. So yeah, it's not super complex, of course, but it has some subtleties relative to botanical, plantes aromatiques. Botanical, c'est plantes aromatiques. Spices, plutôt dans un registre doux, mais quand même avec des petites aspérités. It really has his personality, that's what I meant. Voilà, ça a de la personnalité. Donc là, on est à 3 ans d'âge. Et on va passer à autre chose, de la même distillerie. So we're gonna now try this atomic thing. And yeah, this one is the name was given by the cask sharers, if I may say, the three, I don't know who found the name, but Olivier Saive, le dessinateur, the guy who did the drawing, also explained the story of the little monkey who dips his balls in whiskey, which is the name of the whiskey. You can still see it's I'm not sure the focus is made to see it's no, doesn't want to focus more. It says cuvée privée, made in Belgium, barley raised and whiskey made in Belgium, so 20 cl, drink responsibly, of course. Single malt cask strength, 70.4 ABV. And I had the chance, as we were discussing with Olivier, and he knew, he learned that I was bottling, going to have my own, if I may say. I don't distill it, I blended it whiskey. So he did this kind dédicace, kind signing for me, and also on top of that, he's also, merci Olivier, he also did this. This is Greg's whiskey, And there were 175 bottles made of this and shared with people, which was very generous. This is a whiskey I tried 4 times now. 2 or 3 times, I think, during the evening, with very small quantities, and no, 2 times during that presentation evening, and 2 times, 1 time live with Ken from Scotch Down Under, on my channel, I think it was, or in his channel, I don't remember, and also a 1 time off camera. So it's probably so this one, the very interesting thing is, so yeah, previous one was called Identity. This one is called A Little Monkey Who Dips its Balls into Whiskey. It was matured in ex-bourbon cask for 7 years and finished in Sauternes, so le vin liquoreux français de la région de Bordeaux, so Bordeaux, Sauternes, sweet wine, white wine, casks, for 319 days, 319 jours. Let's say it's 2 years and a half, something like that. So it's almost a 9 years old whiskey. You can have this neat if you're a connoisseur. Otherwise, I really discourage you to you probably not have the possibility to try it. But if you go to the distillery, there are single casks. Sometimes they can be very high ABV. I do not recommend people who are not used to try it neat. But add at the minimum 5-6 drops of water. And if it's okay for them, then maybe add a few other drops later on. But for those who are experimented, it is interesting to have it neat, just a few sips like you see I did, and then diluted, because it's really difficult to tame. There you can see, I'm not sure, let's see if it works with, so difficult, I'm sorry, I didn't want to spend too much money on my cam. I should already spend a lot, different things, but maybe I will someday. I don't have Patreons. I should have, maybe. It's a big question. The nose, you have to be careful also at the nose, small nosing periods, because it can burn your nostrils. Not shake it too much. No shaky, like Rafi says. Oh, no. So immediately, like first pours at the evening, it was presented a lovely pastry profile, which I really love. There's something that reminds me of Bain's single grain for some reason. And then to some Springbanks. My barrel of cask, for instance, finish. So strong aromas. I haven't noted nothing. I should. Not today, because it's already very long video again. Yeah, basically pastry, Paris-Brest. I'm sorry, c'est pour les Français, ça parle mieux que pour les autres, mais yeah, moi j'ai une note très claire de Paris-Brest, j'adore ça. Praline in English, I think. The main pastry note, some dried fruit, some really malted barley, demerara sugar, rich nose. Some pecan pie notes, some pecan nut notes, hazelnuts. Il y a plein de trucs, c'est vraiment riche. Noix de pécan, tarte aux noix de pécan américaine, que j'ai testé là-bas il y a longtemps. Okay, on the palate. Santé, and again, big cheers to my friend Menno over in Belgium. This is for you also. quite punchy and tannic, quite strong, but there are still lots of spices, but still the distillate managed to come across. The Sauternes impact is important, let's be clear. It's huge, but doesn't kill the distillate. But of course, gotta be careful. Despite my experience, or because of my experience, I'm gonna more than that, gonna put all this and a second, so a full full pipette in there right away. I cannot give you, I could, because I have a refractometer and other tools, but I'm not gonna pour these 5-10 minutes and on the measuring tool, but it should be approximately down to 60% ABV now, but I will add more water. Ooh. There's some the varied array of nuts, roasted a bit now, are coming through, and some dustiness from the oak as well, but not overpowering. Probably some chili pepper now showing off more. Let's see on the palate. Oh putain de merde. Sorry. Holy smoke. Ah, this is great. This is great. Now, the pastry thing comes across way louder, and I have a strong note of hard caramel, which I can only relate in French to carambar. Liquid carambar. Oh la vache. So yeah, this is some kind of for non-French, non-European, I mean UK, and for me it's part of Europe geographically, but I know all what's going on. Probably you would call that some kind of full caramel fudge taste, I guess. It's slightly different. There's something more toffee-ish, toffee in the sense of more dark. C'est pour ça que je parle de caramel, carambar. Salted caramel, I won't say. Oh, c'est vraiment, c'est très pâtissier. It's the pastry comes across a lot. Okay, right. I see it's getting very long now. There you have it. Recommending this for French reading audience. Je vous recommande de lire ça. C'est vraiment, je sais plus quel est le prix. Ça nous a été offert. Je pense que ça doit pas être aller chercher bien loin. Bamboo édition. Voilà, si vous voulez connaître énormément de choses en une quarantaine de pages sur le whisky en vous amusant un peu, c'est super. Now that said, if you want to dig a bit more, try this. It's really nice. And also, if you see them in a festival, si vous les voyez dans un salon, allez les voir. C'est vraiment, ils font du bon boulot. And me, I'm gonna experiment now. I know what I'm gonna do, but off camera I'm gonna mix those two. It's too tempting. Okay, 20 seconds. Voir si ça marche. Maybe it doesn't work. It worked. I would like to work with this distillery as well. Wow, super. Friends, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for subscribing, clicking notification bell if you like it. If you like the video, leave a comment, ask a question. I'll do my best. See you soon for another whiskey. Cheers.